We did not have any work sessions this week. Are there any on the schedule for next week or next work session? This time? Not yet, okay. Everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes.
Yeah.
Motion. Pathology will be here. Okay, so pathology in the next work session.
What time do we give a set time?
Motion to approve.
There was a change to the minutes, Alana was here.
Motion to approve the minutes. Joe, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, first up, Pharmacan. This is a review of longstanding process to get the multi-tenant sign package completed. Is there somebody here from Pharmacan?
Hey, Corey Auerbach from Barclay Damon on behalf of Pharmacan. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, we did receive an updated package this afternoon, which I think addressed comments from the planning department. And I think it's addressed all the issues that we have. Are there any other questions at this time? Okay. So I will go ahead and read a proposed resolution. Multi-tenant sign package approval, motion for this project was recently granted site plan approval for modifications to site and change of use. A specific permit was also granted due to the cannabis use per town code. A condition of the approval was that the applicant needed to return to this board for approval of the configuration for approval of a multi-tenant sign package, as this is a multi-tenant building. Sign colors, locations, and configuration have been reviewed. This board approves the multi-tenant sign package last dated 8/8/2024, with the finding that the existing signage for the veterinary clinic is approved as part of this package. As the sign to be in conformance with the same, this applicant is further requested to match all outdoor wall packs for proposed and existing lighting. All conditions and findings of the existing approval of this board are in full force, in effect, and unmodified, except as set forth herein. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Move to approve. Second. We talked about the orientation of the signs, and it does fit with multi-tenant. Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. Any seconds, all in favor?
Did you make that motion or?
Second. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Next up will be the CNY Labor Union. We are looking at making a recommendation to ZBA today to increase the amount of spots in reserves. Correct. Correct. We have material to take a look at, or?
Sure.
I'll ask you to just give us a quick overview.
Yeah. Just go through a couple of things. Okay, right there. Yeah, so the project is, as we explained before, it's about a 5,000 square foot addition to the building. We're talking about parking right now. We established that by ordinance, we need 78 spaces. But because of the usage of the building for office during the day and training at night, that those two functions never occur at the same time. And so their actual need is about 40. It keeps the impervious area the same by 52 spaces now with 26 in reserve. We've got a plan that, the next plan, the next sheet shows the reserve.
Trying to convince these screens so much else isn't cooperating with me, I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, the next one. Yeah, so you see the reserve parking here, here, and here.
How many are you showing?
We're showing 52 spaces to do now with this project.
So your reserves
26. The total is 78.
Sorry, so
Yeah, that's a
math right.
I mean, by ordinance, we're allowed 25%, which would be 19 spaces. We're asking for 26 spaces, which is 33 and a third.
And you sufficiently showed them in the site plan that the site can be built
Yes,
with all of the spaces?
Yes,
Should
yeah.
they be needed?
correct.
At this point, it doesn't make sense to build them all out. You don't need them.
Right. It leaves us with more grass area. We're able to put in some more screening in the back area to screen that back parking lot. We are cutting off that drive that is through here. We're cutting that off. I know there was a question about whether or not that was a legal easement. We're still searching, but we found nothing so far.
Okay.
They're 99% sure it was just by agreement.
There was a concerned neighbor over there too, right? They had some issues.
Yes. Water discharge. Mark has looked at this. Yeah, he's dealing with all of the water runoff and storm runoff.
And we've been in touch with Mark, me and Julian Clark at Plumley. One of the things we are trying to do, because right now you get about half of the water in the back for the property. This half back goes into this area. This is a little bit lower, and the front half goes here. And Julian talked to Mark about this. We're trying to get a little bit more water to the front because they can handle it. So they're working with the storm drainage that's off to the north of the building. There's a catch basin there that they're probably going to end up replacing. But you'll see that in, when we come back after ZBA.
Continue to work with Mark on that, make
Yes.
sure that we're.
Yep.
Everything's good.
Absolutely.
The reserve spots on the left side there, are they truly tight to the property line?
They are. They're within a foot. Yes.
They are within a foot.
Yes.
We don't have a space requirement, do we have a buffer space?
Well, I mean, yeah, the car, everything about the vehicle when it's in that stall has to stay within the space. So if it was tight, then I would be worried.
But if he's holding it a foot off, I guess I'm wondering if they do build it. Right now, he's proposing green space, yeah, I mean, that would be a requirement here, but do we have a buffer requirement? Side yards, 10 foot, this is slanting.
It's industrial.
Industrial.
Yeah.
We're on the third,
Right.
third.
I think we have to do something about having future build out curb stop, fuel stops.
Yeah.
So we can't hang over.
Yep.
Otherwise you pay the care.
Correct. Yep.
We're taking.
But that's a 24-foot aisle between.
Correct.
Have you submitted any drainage to the county, if you're directing any drainage to the county road?
We have not.
Okay, I would send that into county DOT.
Yeah, they're still working on it. I thought this one was sorted. They're getting close. But
Okay, yeah, still wanna know anything.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I guess to circle back on that, I don't recall that there's an ordinance that requires a certain space from the properity line.
I couldn't find any. I looked hard because I thought it was a little unusual, but it is industrial.
I'm just bringing it up as, consideration, but. tight parking. Okay. Go ahead and read your proposal. This is a recommendation to the ZBA to grant a variance to allow parking reserve on the site. The site requires by code 78 spaces. The proposed plan shows 52 parking spaces to be built with adequate room for 26 spaces. Those 26 spaces should be shown on the plan as reserved. They are and placed in reserve by the zoning board. This board finds that the applicant demonstrated that the proposed use does not require the number of spaces required by code. However, rather than a straight variance, in as much as there is room on the site for the reserve that is preferable, the variance should contain the following condition. Should parking at any time on the site be deemed inadequate or otherwise interfering with the neighborhood or site as determined by the Department of Planning and Zoning, observation or otherwise. In its discretion, the department may require that the reserve parking be built and the site plan shall be noted accordingly. The department shall have the authority to make such determination and no further action by the planning board or zoning board of appeals shall be required. Any questions? I have a motion to approve the recommendation. Second. All in favor? Great.
Thank you very
See you
much.
when you're,
I'll be
you come back.
Yeah, I'll be till September, but
Good
I'll
luck.
be back. Thank you.
Good landing. Recommendation on good landing. Okay, this is another one that we've worked with you on. Today we're talking about a recommendation for the number and size of signs on the building.
Location of one that faces east to Fly Road but doesn't have an access drive.
Yep.
So we have made application to the ZBA for the 2 building mounted signs that we went through workshop sessions and discussed the architectural proportionality of these signs compared to what the zoning ordinance allows at 120 square feet. Each one of the 2 signs, after our discussions, is 864 square feet. I did add one additional calculation. When we had presented to the planning board, we'd only used the production building as the elevation square footage, so it's calculated 2 ways on 2 different sheets. We did put the annex, which faces south but is recessed a bit back. I'm just not sure which way. I don't know if it makes any difference to the determination, but in general, the kind of 10% other rule that is in the zoning ordinance, we are well within that. 5.3% on the east facing elevation, and it goes up to about 7.6 if we don't include the annex. If we do include the annex, it's 4.9%. So well within the 10% kind of check that is in the zoning ordinance. This is what we had worked through in the workshop sessions and in the planning board meetings, and feel it's proportional and appropriate given the size. You know, as to the access on Fly Road, because of the loop in Hammersmith, it's kind of unnecessary and unneeded, so I don't think County DOT would allow another curb cut between the 2 curb cuts for Hammersmith, so it is the front facing elevation. In a way, it's an odd lot, actually.
So everyone here is clear on why we're talking about size. Any other questions from the board? Recommendation to the ZBA. After an extensive process, including a type 1 secret designation, this applicant was granted site plan approval for this project on June 27, 2024. However, the signage was excluded from that approval. This applicant now requests 2 variances relating to their sign proposal. This board recommends that the ZBA grant both variances requested. First, this board recommends that the south-facing building mounted sign be granted a variance in the allowable signage area of 120 square feet to 864 square feet. That number is correct? While this variance is significant in size, this board recommends that the variance primarily because of the architectural compatibility with the overall design. This is the centerpiece of the high-tech zoning district, and it was a specific request of this board, and in particular, the architects of this board, that the signage become a feature of the building. The applicant proposed conforming size sign, but its lack of architectural compatibility with the site and high-tech district made it undesirable. This board worked with the applicant to present a better sign package. This board similarly recommends that the east-facing building mounted sign be permitted on this facade that does not have, and that the square does not have access to Fly Road, and that the square footage be similarly increased from the permitted 120 square feet to 864 square feet. Is that number accurate as well? Yes. Except as modified herein, all findings, determinations, and conditions in the June 27, 2024 approval remain in full force and effect. Any questions or comments on that one? No. Recommendation on, move on the recommendation. Leif, second. Doug, all in favor? Okay. Thank you. All in favor?
Right behind, up higher, right in the computer.
Oh, up here.
Yeah, so I plugged it in, Eric had a couple of little tweaks in the wording, so that's why you've got a flash drive and don't have the most current, only thing that's changed from what was submitted and what is today is in that little box.
Yeah.
Changes. As we talked before, we've got the existing building, existing outdoor covered area, existing patio area, which we started at the baseline, getting us at the 92 spots. The area that we're really gonna use, it's really not seating, but we understand the approach we wanna take with it, so that would require that extra 23 parking spots. And that's what we're looking to get a recommendation to go to the ZBA, and not have to build additional parking. Find additional parking locations, because there's no place on site to build it.
Yeah, I know we've worked through, we've done the counts, we've looked at all of this, I think the approach is there. It's not gonna increase the intensity of use in here.
And I don't know if, but the office space and the catering spaces which are on here are not used at night. So really when the restaurant's at its peak, those uses aren't being used, so it does help offset that.
And all the square footage and everything, I think I saw you in the email, change back and forth there, as you recommended.
Can you just zoom into that parking truck box where it's located?
Just wanna make sure we got it.
No, I think that's not, I copied the wrong one on, I apologize. It's printed properly.
Okay, here you go. Yeah, just Eric, take a look at those square footages, make sure that.
Yep, 92 spaces, baseline. 23 additional for the.
That's good. Okay. Is there any other questions or concerns from the board? No? Recommendation, this is a recommendation to the ZBA regarding the parking variance to allow for 92 parking spaces where 115 total will be required by code. This project currently has 92 parking spaces as shown on the plan. There were 2 others shown, but they're interfered with by plant posts, so do not exist for reasonable usage. This board has determined through investigation of prior plans and views that that this is a site that has been operating with the 92 spaces as a baseline, pre-existing non-conforming. The applicant now proposes to add outdoor seating area, which will increase the total required number of spaces to an additional 23 spaces above the 92 baseline. However, this recommendation is made for a variance, as the applicant has shown that the parking on site is already adequate to serve its current operations and the proposed increase. Additionally, outdoor seating will only be possible for a short season. Are there any questions on this one? I'll move the recommendation in a second. Joe, all in favor? Great, good luck.
Should I disconnect the flashlight?
Okay, next up, U-Haul.
Right, I'm just gonna do it like years.
Okay. We've coordinated, and I think this board has worked with them, to sign it, and we're all set on this one.
Yep, so go ahead, you can say that loud.
So there's 5 total. So there's
Alright, so
one on the south, that's a box sign. There's 2 on the east that faces the street. So you're recommending, I guess you're right, there are 3 that are not facing the street, but then you're recommending the second one on the side is what you're allowed for on the side.
So which one is that? If you're looking at what is written here.
You want me to pull up the plan elevations?
Yeah, if you wrote it, you can have it out there.
The south is correct.
The north side, right?
East.
And this does not face the street, the north facade does not face the street.
Right, but there's not 3 east. That's not even.
So, well, let's talk about it out loud. I mean, to make sure everybody can hear us, and make sure we got the right, it's been a long time coming, so make sure we get it right.
So the south is the top one there. There's a box sign in the top right. Right. That's the 18 square foot box sign. That does not face.
Right.
So,
There's,
all right, so if we follow on here, there's 3 signs not facing the street, and that facade is not the north facade,
that's the south.
that's the south
So
facade?
that is part of the variance, right? That is the.
Okay,
South and north.
Okay, I've got it all here in the email I sent. So the north elevation is the drive-in self-storage sign, the
right,
U-Haul box sign, and the
Yes.
canopy sign.
yes. And it's the what facade? The,
I'm not sure that it
Right,
has the
that's what I
box
have here.
sign up.
Yes.
yes.
Where's the box?
I think it's just the canopy and they taped off they did in the left side of this, all the way to the left, north elevation, that box.
Right, is noting that it was removed. Okay. And so then they actually removed the box sign from the east elevation, but they relocated it to the south. Yes. And they put right street address. Right, we did that, and they put the street address in its place. So you don't have the box sign.
It's no longer there?
Okay.
It was though.
It's no
All
longer.
right,
Alright, so we have the drive-in self-storage and the sign on the north.
Okay,
On the south facade, one box sign, yes, that's.
and the east has the main sign.
Right. Again, is it still 860?
No,
I didn't think so. What is the square footage that they have? They have it in the box in the right.
This looks right.
No, I'll zoom out further.
Yep. Yep, 66. South 18.
I think that's the 47 and a half.
Oh, I was just,
Oh, yeah, east is 47 and a half.
I was just looking at the dimensions on the plan, it said 3 foot by 22 feet. If I saw that, that's much bigger.
22 feet.
It might have been calling it 3 feet.
Right, because it's still got a
Go
background.
to your left, go back there to the left to the big view sign.
The main view.
Right, the big one right there.
That looks now like it's
It's-
part of the
oh, I'm sorry,
building
It's
and not a special
15,
sign.
or it's like 16 feet by 3 feet. That's just about 47 and a half. Okay. So it's 47 and a half square feet. But there is no background, they removed the background.
Okay, all right, I didn't know.
They haven't removed it, it was back by the yesterday.
Okay,
As part of this approval, they will remove it.
Because it's still there.
okay, so let's say the prior background
Shall be removed.
is removed, right? That it'll be, is removed on this.
Right, so this,
It's just, it's a sign with no backup.
right, so
Is
That's what we're
removed. So only the wording is part of the sign. Yep,
which road?
is part of the sign size.
But there's no box on the northeast corner of the building, it's just a new sign that was previously granted. So there is no box sign on the northeast end, right? That's what they replaced with it.
Okay,
Yes.
I thought they were going to keep that.
And the address doesn't, it's not impacted,
Mhm.
right, because the address
Yeah.
is part of this, so I can strike that one, right?
Mhm.
So I think up here.
okay, so the four, sorry, I'm going through my millions of emails with them. The four, they have our box sign on south facade, canopy sign on east facade, drive-in self-storage sign on north facade, and canopy sign on north facade.
So we're missing a
Canopy
canopy
was-
sign.
So this
Yeah, the
36
canopy was on both
included
sides.
it's 2 faces of the canopy side. That was the total sign. Yeah, so we're there, please. So it's 16.58 on the east.
It might be slightly different, right, but I mean, that captures the 36.5 square feet for the canopy. Talking about the canopy.
Right.
Yeah.
We had it grouped together and then we broke it into different facades.
I don't think we need to do
I don't
that.
think we need to, and again, we can make that right. It's here, okay.
So the ZJ application is in 4 sides.
So we have the drive-in, the canopy, and the box sign. And, yeah, that's 4. The drive-in, the canopy, the box sign, and the big sign.
Big sign doesn't need a variance.
So they have 5 total, if you're counting the different facades of the.
Now that they have
Canopy,
reduced
yeah.
it, it,
Right, so that I strike this one.
Yeah, we had talked about doing the canopy on both sides, but if you wanted to just go down to one with the canopy, then it would be 3 variances.
Right, so it's the drive-in, the canopy, and the box sign, and I can strike C,
so
because it now applies.
I guess I should say there was a prior variance. Sign configuration. So now they question is, if we can do up to 300% and make that finding,
It didn't meet the variance for square footage anymore.
Yeah. It's one of those, somewhere.
so that's,
Line.
okay,
Basic streets, usually
okay.
east.
So what happens to that previous variance? Just, it's just void.
And it's still there. So if we, in this first paragraph, we're saying that it was, an increase in signage, up to 300%. And this makes any variance on the 47.5 square foot sign on the east facade unnecessary.
Wouldn't they just
That
null
one
and
wouldn't
void
be
it?
that variance anyway, because the basics opposite, it would have been for the square footage of the whole building. All the signs. Right?
Cause they could come back and
So
say,
that's the one that's.
we have a variance, and then you're gonna say, well, what's variance?
Right, but that's what I think, but what she's writing doesn't grant the variance for the east and south. She's acknowledging that.
So their square footage is fine, the whole entirety of the square footage is now fine.
Yes.
It is just simply signs that don't face the street.
Right.
So,
And the
Okay,
yeah. first
so then we're gonna say. Do you hate me? I think we're good, should we try to go with it?
We just give cheaters.
Give that a try.
Okay. Alright, bear with me here. Recommendation to the ZBA, this board recommends several variances for this project as it relates to signage, including number of signs, total square footage of sign, which I can correct the total square footage. So it's just the number of signs. Correct. The applicant and the board have worked together to come up with a sign plan that best serves the site as well as being compatible with an important highly traveled corridor in town. The site is zoned industrial, however, U-Haul use is unique in that members of the public frequent many portions of the site and many portions of the site, bless you, utilize vehicles that are not the usual passenger vehicle. Appropriate signage is an attempt for the applicant to optimize relative safety of vehicular and pedestrian circulation on the site. Accordingly, and primarily in light of the above, this board makes the following finding with respect to signage in this industrial district. As permitted by the code, that the attached industrially used signs in this industrial district is granted an increase in size allowable of 300%, finding that the location or layout of the facility provides insufficient identification of the signage permitted on 92-106 F3.
We're gonna put it up to
Up to
300%.
Condition A, this board recommends that 3 signs be permitted on the facades of the building, not facing the street to which the site has access, the north facade. And further recommend that signs be given a variance to allow for sizes as set forth herein.
Just call it sign. Not sign.
Number 1, the drive-in self-storage sign, which is proposed to be 108 square feet. And 2, the canopy sign as shown on the plan be permitted a 36.5 square feet. However, as a condition of variance, the down pointing arrows shown on the canopy are not a permitted sign and will not be approved. Condition B, this board recommends that the south-facing facade be granted a variance for 1 box box sign of 18 square feet. And we don't need to see. So the C would be, right, I don't need C, so that there was a pre-existing sign configuration.
No, we got rid of that.
All get cleared up. This applicant must return to the board for final site plan approval and final determination and finalization of the exact placement of the signs and to ensure all signs are approved as represented.
Should we make mention of the monument sign, that it's not part of this? Because there's a monument sign too.
It's pre-existing.
Right.
It's pre-existing.
We can say that.
So that's more recommended, the monument sign is a pre-existing.
Yep.
Condition is not part of this recommendation.
Maybe they could follow the old theories that they were.
Alright,
So they've come down quite a bit,
I mean,
that's
it's,
for sure.
assuming Dormant sign, monument signs.
right. Okay.
Might be necessary to see, but.
Yeah. Conforming. It is conforming.
I just wanna note that we did get new plans in the office, which don't show the arrow, but then what they sent in for ZBA is still showing those green arrows, so they have plans without them, we just need to make sure they saw them.
Okay, I mean, we did capture that in the recommendation.
They have to come back and final.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they just forgot to, maybe they did something.
Okay,
I think you better make that motion. See if
I will
everyone
move.
understands it.
Should we all applaud?
I will move, is there a second? Kathy, all in favor?
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome, as long as he was
Great.
first.
Like I see all the scribbles and notes and.
Mine too.
Alright. So now we'll go to
Thank you.
ZBA on that one. Alright, next up, we have Restoration Pro, this is a conceptual presentation. You got about 10 minutes of time.
I got 40. So you know
Do you have a jump drive or?
and we gave it to her.
Okay.
Yeah, so what happened, there's actual small garage, 12 by 45. I wanted to take that down and build that 38 by 27.
Can you give me your name, please?
Bill Kudrich,
You better tell me that again.
AVDO,
Mhm.
KRDZIC. That's a bad thing or a good thing?
No, that's good, that's just me, it's just me.
Yeah, so I wanna do addition, cause I just purchased the building in May. So I wanna build for my business, I need more space.
What is your business?
I do insurance, claims, water, mold, all that stuff.
Alright,
I know I did put also get a permit for the sign, but I think cause it's underneath the wires. You guys gonna let me in the sign.
County resolution said it within the
Yeah.
right of way.
Yeah, so I have to put that.
okay.
So pretty much I'm only asking, you know, to do that addition on the back.
Right, so when we look at this, the parking count is,
There's 7 parkings, but 2 in the garage can be parked, but it's only me and 2 employees, right? So,
right, I don't know that we can count the parking stalls inside the garage as part of the site plan. So you would be too short, you'd have to make a recommendation to the ZBA for a reduction of parking. 'Cause
even if I don't need it, Cause it's only me two.
Understood, but we need to look at this, if you sell and you move out, we need to make sure that this is being developed for the town code.
Okay.
And I think my understanding is you need 9,
I think it's 10 actually.
10, and so
Just under 3,000 square feet with the addition.
so there's 3 spots that need to be shown, which I don't know that you have.
Can I make them here? Cause there's a lot of room in here.
Probably be more of a,
Yeah, they would be, and I don't know how you would have, I mean, those would all.
But this could be,
You can't do tandem spots or
this
parallel
could be,
spots.
hold on, this could be parking here, cause that doesn't usually stay, that's movable without trip. So I mean, still, I can make parking right here.
so that's paved all the way down back?
No, you come this way.
Yeah, it is paved there, correct?
Yeah.
So I think you'd have to, you know, this is just a conceptual presentation, so you're gonna have another opportunity, another set of submission. You'll get comments from the planning office, based on kind of what we talked about here today, you'll have another submission, so if you can find 3 additional spots that would work, then you can show those in there, and that's not an issue on that.
Okay.
You will need to show us the turning in here and how you're getting trucks in and out of the space. It's a very tight site. And I don't think this board is convinced that, you know, truck traffic back here, getting in and out of a garage, and how you're gonna maneuver around a parking lot if you have cars. I know it's just you, but in general, we need to make sure that the site works and the flow works. So you're gonna need to show us the truck turn and how you're gonna get trucks in and out of this site.
Okay.
The building itself extends over the rear property line. The addition, so you're building into the rear yard, it'll require a variance. And this affects both.
It's only school behind, that's.
And you're into the rear yard, you need to go and get a variance.
Do you know what we mean by that? There's a setback here.
Setback, you gotta be 40 feet. Right now, it's gonna be 15.
I'm sorry,
Okay, go ahead.
it's a problem is this area here, it's 10 feet. Because it's in line with the existing building.
Correct.
And on another side, it's 23 feet from the building.
And the rear,
So setback gotta be 40 feet.
correct, the building
But
in.
right now, if I do addition, it's gonna be setback, I think it's gonna be setback 15 instead. That's why you get a variance.
Correct. Yeah, you're building into the rear yard, which you're not allowed to do without a variance.
It's only their backyard. It's not like building right behind it.
It doesn't matter.
40 feet from that back property line,
That's your
you have
rear
a
yard.
structure.
So it would be only a school.
It's still a variance that you would have to
Yeah,
do.
that's a
It's a variance, you can make that argument to the zoning board, right?
Okay.
Well, if you were sitting here, you understand we made some recommendations on things to the zoning board, so a lot of people have to go for different things.
Okay.
So this would be a thing, because it's another board that looks at it.
You have to be 40 feet from
Correct.
That's why they would get it.
in the garage.
So when would be the,
In this situation, it's complete,
how variance?
It's a different group of people, different board, you would go to a different meeting.
Right.
oh,
Correct me if I'm wrong though, the existing is also non-conforming in the rear yard too,
But
so
we
it's,
can't increase the,
we can increase it, but could you leave the footprint of that existing building, use that? You understand? Where's the existing building?
Existing see the dashed line right
Oh,
there?
that's the
yeah,
dash.
this is the existing garage, but it's elevations of there, it's show. But
That's exactly 40 feet, right to this line, So from
It's
here to
actually-
the fence,
So it's 38.75 now, so it is already over it. It would be 23.
but you can keep it,
Right.
it can stay if you don't make the addition. But once you make the addition, then you have to get the variance.
increasing that non-conformity.
I totally understand.
Right, and my understanding, at least from
So we're
conversations
gonna
that you
do
had.
variance then plan 3 more parking. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
so there's the,
So far.
so far. And then in terms of this building and this site right now is located in the high-tech district.
Okay,
And so with renovations and bringing buildings up, if you're doing an addition on here, there's standards that we look at in terms of the high-tech district, in terms of materials, look, finishes, design. So when we look at these, you can look at some of the other, Finicon and some of the other, and then directly across was the one right across the street.
Raymond.
You know, that type of look and feel is part of what the high-tech district is supposed to demonstrate. Right,
Yeah, right.
so part of this is bringing it up to the rest of the district as part of this project.
That's my thing too, next variance.
So one thing I didn't notice before I was talking to you, Mayor, the height as well. So the code is 1-to-1, so as you go 1 foot away from the property line, you're allowed a 1 foot increase in height. So I think you're about 10 feet from the side property line, and the building is 21 feet. I see that you're matching the existing height on the bottom drawing, but it looks like the peak might be a little higher than the existing roof line.
Because the stone wall and everything, should be in the height from the existing and it's 21 feet. Probably to the top.
How tall is the tallest point of the existing roof?
Is that 27?
Says there on the left
It's on the left side,
of your
Yeah,
elevation.
right,
left up on the top.
This first one,
Right here.
That the addition though?
that's the addition,
21.
this edition 21.
Oh, okay, that's.
What about the existing roof?
looks like it's about 3 feet lower.
That's what it looks like to me.
Around
This
the-
one,
Yeah.
So I'm not sure
So here,
variance wise how that shakes out.
I think it's about 40 feet, 4 feet.
4 feet difference.
Yeah. So
So it's another one of those situations where the building as it exists is already non-conforming, but you're making it worse by exacerbating, by making it higher, so.
So we can get you a list of the comments on here, which will kind of give you an outline of what our board is looking at, what the planning department is looking at. You know, and that hopefully will help you inform any modifications that you need to make to this site plan in order to either fit within the code or define what variances you need to go to the ZBA to get. And those you'll have to come and present to us in order to get a recommendation from our board to ZBA. You are,
I think, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, you are able to go straight to ZBA to get those, but I will just let you know ahead of time that the ZBA does look for recommendation from us on those.
the problem for parking requires 10 spots, but the land is really not that much. And plus, he has just 2 workers and
Yep.
So you're telling me you gotta have 10 parking and you gotta have space to turn around?
You need to show us that the site is, it can work
To
with,
make it,
right?
10 spaces, only just eliminate the existing garage and organize parking, but 10 spaces, he's parking over there, just 2 workers and him, and it's
I
not.
mean,
But what happens if your business grows and you move and somebody else comes in? And we've approved a site plan that doesn't work. It doesn't matter if there's 2 employees right now, we have to look at this, not based on you specifically, but on the site and the building and the use. So we understand what your business is, your model and what you're trying to do, but our job is to look at the site as a whole for the entirety of the site.
how big parking is? 7 feet?
It,
19 by 9.5.
9.5.
We're starting to vacant.
So,
But that's something you could present your case to the ZBA and ask them to allow you to have 3 spaces less.
right, so you'll get,
You go make your business work, because you're the owner right now.
Yeah.
Make it work. And plead your case that we only need 2, look at us when we get 4 or 5 in. It's, it's gonna be, we would either recommend or not recommend. I mean, that's based on your layout, but it's up to them to say you can do that.
So I'll work with you to get a list of what variances you would need as it stands, and then you can either proceed with that or rework your plans to work with that.
Thank you. Take care.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, see it.
VIP loading dock.
Yeah.
So I'm Allie Henderson with Beards, the Architects and Engineers, working on behalf of CF Smith. Allie Henderson, ALIE. We're on behalf of CF Smith Property Group. So basically, they're currently the tenant is Lennox Heating and Air Conditioning sales. So they use this current overhead door for loading. They just bring the trucks in, use a forklift ramp to take it in and out. The owner wants to put in a freestanding overhead canopy just to keep it a little safer, the loading dock for the forklift operators, keep the snow and the ice from accumulating on the ramp. So the canopy is about 50 by 12, and it's totally freestanding, not attached to the building, utilizing existing lighting next to the overhead door, no changes in grading, use, anything like that. I know the drawings that I previously submitted, we are encroaching in the rear yard setback, but I noticed, which I apologize for any confusion, I noticed in prep for this meeting that I believe the survey picked up incorrect setbacks. Since we're a corner lot, that it would be technically considered a side yard, and therefore only a 12-foot setback, so we wouldn't end up encroaching. But that is the gist of the project. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just this loading dock, or this canopy for the loading. Keeping the same traffic patterns, same truck size, no additional pavement. We would be turning the area beneath the canopy into concrete instead of asphalt, but no changes in grading, anything like that.
This is how you guys, this two front yards. Okay, so it is in the side yard.
So this, just so I'm clear, this would be front, and then these two are side. Yeah.
How's that truck get out?
If you go to the next plan. Basically, come in here, there are two easements here and here. So the truck come out, do a reverse, and then a little 3-point turn to get back out. All staying within the easements.
It is within these, can you zoom in on the Y in there? How do we prevent other trucks? And this is a standard box truck. Is there intent to use other
No, this is, the standard box truck is what they use now. They were originally looking to use a larger vehicle, tractor trailer, but we couldn't make it work within the easements, so the tenant is just gonna have to use the box truck. So basically just continuing as is.
So those easements are reserved for circulation only, correct? Even on the
believe so.
neighboring lots, they're not for parking, storage of any kind,
Right,
and that is stipulated.
I believe so, yes, and I included, I believe, both, the deeds that have the easement and then like, the deed had an amendment, which were included with the submission. I'm pretty sure we're in the clear with the vehicle. I know, it's a little hard to follow, but
Remember the arrows,
yeah,
it's like a dance number.
yeah. Believe it or not, this was one of the least complicated routes I could figure out. Basically just pulling out, reversing in, and then going out.
Is that what they do now?
Honestly, I'm not sure what they do now. They might, because there's no freestanding canopy now,
Right.
just do it a little closer to their regular property, you know, or they might even be able to make the swing around without the canopy there, but.
The easement goes all the way back.
Yeah, all the way back to this property line. And same, the other one down here goes all the way down to the bottom property line.
And none of that turning encroaches on the adjacent parcels.
Could you just trace the outline of the canopy on this plan? Where's the canopy footprint?
Yep, so it's gonna be this inner box right here. And then that outer box is just a concrete pad that it's gonna be on.
You'll certainly need bollards and other protection around those bollards.
Yep, we've got a couple of bollards protecting the two, and actually this one back here too as well.
I'm assuming as they come out, they come in the same way.
They'll come in, so can you go back one, John? They'll go in, they can pretty much just pull in and then back in, pretty simply.
So how wide is the driveway?
Which driveway?
The whole thing where they're coming in and out? I mean, can you get one vehicle coming in and one going out at the same time?
I'm not sure on that, off the top of my head.
I mean, I would assume
Is it
that
gonna
easement's
pull
probably
in, back
gonna,
in, pull out, and back all the way out?
Yeah.
no,
Get
you can't
halfway
back
down
out,
and somebody's coming the
you
other way.
can't back all the way out, you're not allowed to back out onto the street.
What
So
size
then
trucks are
he's
these?
gonna back this way.
The
then
bottom
yeah,
Yeah,
size.
so that's,
yeah,
that's,
They are
this,
40 feet long.
this
Yeah.
is the yin yang, it goes in and it backs in. I mean,
This is the bottom.
So there's no tractor trailers being.
No, couldn't keep it in these ones, the tractor trailers.
Those box trucks are rear load trucks, right?
Yes.
Is that the intent?
Yep.
That's kind of what I was asking about the canopy. So the canopy is for the entire length of the entire truck, right?
Well, actually, no, so they're gonna have, it's not shown, or actually it is shown for clarity, from here to here. This is actually the ramp they're gonna use, forklift ramp. So the truck is only gonna go in
So I go ahead and.
about here, yep. That way, just to get the engine, so the forklift operators are undercover.
okay, so the existing site plan. It doesn't connect through.
The easement doesn't.
If the property, can you slide it up? Or go back to the overall, the aerial. Okay, see,
I see.
yeah, it doesn't go all the way through. And I think that spacing in between the two parking spaces is
Is all
very
the-
tight.
All the parking on the parcel?
Yeah,
enough
so
space
all
to
this, it's pretty much right at the property line, ending as it is right now. So then all that parking is on their parcel.
No.
And even when the box truck is in its parked position sticking out that far, that's not encroaching on any of the circulation of the site?
Mm-mm. No, it's not beyond the parking spaces at least.
It'd be nice to look at the existing site plan for both sites, to make sure that doesn't happen. I mean, what's that existing blacktop for now? Is that parking?
In the area of the canopy,
Well, between, like,
between.
what's that whole area?
that, there's another overhead door right here, so they also, I believe, in current conditions, I think they use this area for loading too.
With another box truck?
I think so. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure which door they use when, but I'm under the impression that it's sort of up to the operator, or, up to the staff and what they're taking out.
How many parking spaces do you have?
9.
Any other questions? I think we'll continue.
Yeah, take a look at it, I'll look at the easements. I think that, board members will go take a site visit.
Okay.
See how this actually operates. Certainly can't tell from this.
I can talk to the property owner too and see if he knows, or can talk to the tenant and see what they do currently. It's sort of a, chain of command or gone through. Do you want a revised site plan with the amended setbacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Because everything that we've been looking at right now is
Yeah.
that was the rear yard, and then, this canopy is encroaching into the rear yard, which, if that's not the case, it's determined to not be a rear yard, then we'd like to update your plan.
Okay.
I might also recommend that you show us if they actually do load and put a box truck in there, that we can show that turning and how that access is being grayed out, half tunnel in the back, just make sure that it works. We need to make sure that we're not crossing over anyone else's property lines, so that we can get the truck in there. I would tell you right now, that size truck is gonna be the max that will be allowed on that property. I can guarantee you the neighbor next door is probably gonna have a hard time if a semi shows up.
Yeah.
Tries to
Yeah.
back in, it will impact easement and access, and they'll have probably no way to get in and out with this thing, so it is a little self-limiting, but we're gonna max out the size of the truck. So yes, update the drawings, get any package in, work with the planning office for the next steps. We'll provide any feedback and comments to you, based on today.
Okay, great.
And then from there.
Do you want me, I can send you updated drawings tomorrow, but they wouldn't have existing traffic patterns yet? Just with the setbacks, is that okay?
The next submission date, you're on a track A at this point, so the next time that you can be back on this board is the 1st of September.
Okay.
So you have like 2 weeks at this point for the next submission, so it's not a rush. Let's take the time, get our comments, get them incorporated, and get a new package in for us to take a look at.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, next up, Court Street.
Good evening.
Hi,
Bob Abbott, architect. This is an existing 25,000 square foot building on Court Street Road, owned by Syracuse Tire and Truck Centers. And they just purchased it, and Bimbo Bakeries is still in the building now. They're leaving at the end of the year, and Truck Tire will take over the building for their operation. Right now, the front half of the building is, can you go to the architectural portion of it. Yeah, right now, the office portion is in this front bay all the way down. They don't need that much office, so we're gonna demolish, it's all just metal studs and gypsum board. Cause the building is bar joist, steel, and it's got, all the exterior walls are concrete block. So we're proposing to take out, this whole half of the office portion, and they're gonna leave this portion right here. The rest of the building is just really wide open. Right now, there's a lot of small overhead doors here, cause the bakery was using small vans. And they backed in here, and then they've got for larger trucks, back in dock area here, we're proposing to take that out and fill this in all the way across here. So it'll be a straight wall going down. Then if you go to the next plan. Well, these are the elevations. This is the front elevation of the building. We're not doing anything there. They're putting on they're proposing a 7,722 square foot addition completely off the rear of the building. I don't think we need any variances. We've got no setback issues. And on the side of the property line, we're within the 1-to-1 height restriction. We're relocating the stairway from the side, it's there now over to here, and then putting this addition in the back. And the addition will have 3 dock level doors, and then we'll be having 5 drive-in overhead doors along here. And then the heights will be actually matching up the same type of construction, bar joists and steel columns and concrete block. All the 3 sides of the building are just concrete block right now. They would be painted to match the brownish color of the facade. And then if you want to go to the site plan. Let's see, this is the new addition onto the back of the building. There's a drainage easement that runs along the side and across, and everything drains into a culvert here that goes back to the wet area in the back that's part of the Lake Creek district. So Terry Horse is doing the site planning. She's got to get with Mark Parrish on how that drainage is gonna work. Because we're not sure if we need retention at this point, or we can just take what's there now. We're not increasing any pervious, any pavement, because it's all hard stuff now in this area. And that's basically it.
So in terms of the site layout, there was a drawing which showed truck movement.
Yeah, if you go to the other one.
Can I ask a question though about the use? So it was a bakery, it's now a tire, you said tire, what?
It's a tire warehouse.
So this is warehouse use, so vehicles, trucks coming in with bulk materials storage in the back, that's the new use?
Yeah, trucks will be, the driveway, everything in the front, we're not touching anything in the front. There's street trees, they're available, all the parking's along here. They're using the same ingress and egress right here. And then the site goes pretty deep into there, so they don't really need all the way back. It's deep enough to bring tractor trailers and go into
Is there an access easement over the neighbor's parking lot?
Is that what?
Is there an access easement over the neighbor's parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause otherwise it's.
Yeah, there's a common easement going through here.
Can you get a hold of that and provide that to?
Sure.
That's a depressed dock in there. That's the drive around it.
And so now my question is, I can see how the truck gets in, how's the truck get out?
Truck's got plenty of room to drive around, turn around and go out. We'll show that. Yeah.
Just put that little.
And the stalls on the far right-hand side, are those for trailer?
Here,
No, all the way to the right, the far
The
right.
rear of the
parking
site,
area.
the rear of the site?
Yeah, the very rear of the site.
Go to your right.
oh, back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they wanna park trucks, they have trailers they'll be dropping off and storing back there, I guess, and probably box trucks too.
And then there, okay. This is the opportunity right now to clean up that site. It's
Yeah,
in need of it.
yes,
There's a wood trellis or some sort of structure that runs.
it's all coming
through
out, it'll all
It's
be
coming out.
out, yeah.
So other than the stalls all the way on the right, you don't need additional parking. Are you over parked right now?
For the office,
Well, you're adding 7,000 square feet, but with warehouse.
yeah, but the warehouse is, there's only gonna be about 4 or 5 employees in there, so.
So you're over parked, so you're fine there, so you'll have the stalls all the way on the right for trailer. Everything inside, the balance in there is just gonna be paved.
Yes.
But is it currently paved?
Yeah, it's gravel.
A lot of it's gravel and there's it's paved up to about here and then the rest of this is gravel.
So I take it there's no stormwater infrastructure back there at all currently?
But behind here, if you look at Google Earth, there's a large wet area back there, and I think it's like part of the Lake Creek district, because all that water goes down to Lake Creek. So there's something that Terry, I don't understand it, but Terry's gotta work with Mark Parrish on how that's gonna function.
That's it, that's what goes to the big spot that's back there.
Yeah.
And then how about between the property to the page bottom, is there a fence, or a barrier between?
Not here.
Yeah, but
Right around here, there's a fence right in here,
Whose fence is it?
the neighbor's fence.
Theirs.
But because of the way the topography is, everything drains, this is the lower spot right in here. So everything from the driveway drains to there and everything from the backyard is draining there too. So if we need retention, which I don't know if we do at this point, we'll be putting it probably back here somewhere and we'll be doing piping back to the drainage structure that's already there.
It's state wetland.
Any other questions? No, good. Alright, Sam, we'll get you comments.
Okay.
See if it goes in there.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Any other business that we wanna talk about? No? We don't have Kevin here, so we're gonna race to be the first to close the session.
Is he still online?
You can't vote. You can't do
You
it.
can make a motion, just can't vote.
He can make the motion.
Motion to close. Joe? Kathy, all in favor? Thank you. Appreciate it, everyone.
It looks like they just scooted through those, you know, it was
I know.
a lot,
Yeah,
you
months and
know?
months and months.
Yeah. Yeah.